My name is Cole McQuaid. I am an elementary education major with a mathematics minor, and I'm a senior here at Liberty University. This is my third year at Liberty, and this is my fifth semester on campus. I'm a community group leader on East 171. I have 2 quads that I've been assigned to, and I lead the individuals that live in those quads in a community group once a week after campus community, which meets on Wednesday nights. I am a teaching assistant for a couple of the professors and the associate dean of the School of Education. I have particularly enjoyed working in the School of Education with those professors as their teaching assistant. They have been a very large encouragement in my life as I finish up my degree, and I look forward to going into the classroom with all of this encouragement. I don't feel like I'm going in there blind. I feel like I am prepared, and I think it's because of the way that God has blessed me with all of the people in my life in which I am prepared. I do not think that I have had any struggle spiritually because of COVID-19. I think that being home for an extended period of time was actually beneficial for me. I usually work at a summer camp every summer, and I was looking forward to doing that this past summer. And when our camp closed down because of COVID-19, I was disappointed, but it didn't send me into any sort of downward spiral. I decided to get a different job, and I was definitely in a good place with the Lord at that point. And ironically enough, right after I got accepted to work at a job locally, my camp called me and said, "Hey, there's an opening for 5 people to come this summer, just 5, so that we can film some virtual material to put on our website." And they asked me to be one of those 5 people. So in all reality, even though I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to go, they ended up inviting me to come anyway. So my spiritual life definitely benefited from COVID-19 because of the experiences that I had this summer at camp and just all that the Lord taught me in my time alone at home. So I grew up in the church, and I am blessed to have a mother and a father who I have lived with who are both saved and have from a very young age taught me what it means to love Jesus and to live my life every day for Him. And because of that, everything that I do, I try to do for the glory of Christ, and I would tend to love people first because that's what Jesus Christ would do. Ultimately, there are always struggles that any Christian has in their daily walk, and I'm not someone that lives a life absent of those struggles by any means. However, I would say that coming to Liberty and growing up in a Christian home have put me in a wonderful place for having a strong relationship with Jesus Christ. I believe that the guidelines that Liberty University has put in place are manageable, and I think that they are easy to follow without any sort of issues. I think because of our mandate to wear masks inside academic buildings and in class, and our social distancing measures, I think because of those things, we have been able to keep our numbers low at Liberty. I think that the mandates that we have at Liberty have contributed to our lower numbers. When we did have a spike in numbers at the very beginning of this semester, this term spike is very relative because it wasn't a large amount of people, but we did a good job of containing the spread of the virus at that time. I myself was actually quarantined in September because one of my friends tested positive. I did not end up getting it, but because of all of the measures with having people quarantined who've been exposed, we've been able to keep our numbers down, and we've done very well, I think, this semester staying on campus safely. So my senior quote in high school when I graduated was, "The things we treasure define us, but the people we treasure shape us." And ultimately, friendship has been a big motif in my life. I've enjoyed the friends that I have had, but they have changed drastically through different phases of my life. However, I have noticed that while I do appreciate specific things like baking and board games and maybe a specific book, those specific things define me, for instance, because if I like to bake, I'm defined as a baker. If I like to teach, I'm defined as a teacher. So while those things that we treasure define us, the people that we treasure will ultimately shape us and the way that we act, the decisions that we make. I think those things will shape us much more than the things that we treasure. So that's ultimately the idea behind that quote that I came up with.